Hey everybody, what's up? This is Devin LaVore and
Michelle LaVore
coming at you with a little bit of a different background because we're just in a different spot of the room.
Yeah.
But because the kids are over there playing in our spot. But anyway, so man, how far should we go back? Last night. Can I just be real? Do I have permission?
Yeah.
Okay, last night Michelle was in a bit of a funk. Because we all get there, right?
Yeah.
We all get to that place where we get tired of waiting, we get tired of wondering, and there's a part of us that feels like we're almost back before the water broke.
Yeah.
It's just like, what's going on? It's like, are we just waiting forever?
It was. I mean, it just feels like it's just, man, Lord, like this keeps going on and on and on. And it's just, it's your soul gets so tired. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I think we've all been there many times.
Yeah, you get consumed.
And so, it's just, it was rough, but I mean, I felt like God was just, he was just right there. He's like, all right, like, I'm not condemning you for the way that you feel, and I could cry. And
so you did hear that?
Yes,
you did hear that. Okay, cool.
And just
because I really felt like the Lord was saying that. He's like, you needed to tell her there's no condemnation for how you feel.
Yeah.
There's no condemnation for
what you're going
through.
Which honestly was really kind of a breakthrough for me, because a lot of the times, most of the times that I've felt that in the past, I do feel a lot of condemnation, and I feel just like, well, I shouldn't even be here, and why am I here? And it's like, I think last night it really was just like I was able to just share with God what I've been feeling. But there wasn't
and
that
I didn't minister.
Added...
There was a personal breakthrough on this level right here. Am I right?
Yes.
I'm always trying to solve the problem and fix things. And I was just like, I'm just going to be quiet. It was amazing. It was a manifestation of personal breakthrough. Now the interruption thing, you're going to have to give me some grace on that one.
but I don't know. It was really good to just be able to share and really just kind of lay my heart out there, and to not at the same time trying to lay my heart out there feeling guilty for laying my heart out.
Right.
And so that was really good. And I mean, honestly, this morning it's just been kind of like an up and down for me, because I actually had a dream from the Lord this morning that was like really encouraging. Just speaking to really more about like what we're going to be doing and what God has for us, but then at the same time it was still like, man, it's another day, it's like, Lord, when is this day? When are we going to see the breakthrough? When are we going to
now
come through?
Can I transition?
Yes.
While you're going through that, and I was actually the last person to wake up this morning. That's like a blue moon festival right there, because that doesn't happen where she wakes up before I do and she gets the kids up and breakfast, and I'm almost 98% of the time I'm the one who does that.
Yeah.
Well, because she's still, I mean, Isaiah is a year old, but she's still nursing him, so she's on the nursing schedule. So it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
She doesn't get much sleep. She's doing amazing for someone who doesn't get much sleep. Come on, give us a hand clap. Don't clap for yourself. That's not the anyway. But anyway, so while she's going through her thing, and I could tell she was still kind of in a funk, and I was just like, all right. And I'm waking up. Just as I'm waking up, I just get this word from the Lord, like, He is appearing. He is appearing. And I'm just like, and I'm still kind of in like groggy mode, so I'm just not sure if this is the Lord I'm hearing, or is it my heart saying these things that I want to hear, because that will happen.
Yes. That
can happen sometimes. And so I'm just like, well, whatever, Lord, I'm just going to let you. I have no personal stake in the game, so to speak. Like, I don't have any personal desires. I'm like, I'm going to make sure I see this thing come to pass. Yeah. No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just like, whatever you want, Lord, that's what I want. And then He gives us desires that He wants us to believe for and have faith for and to go after. Mm-hmm. See that there's a difference. And so He's like, He's appearing. And then He showed me. He was like, He showed me the two disciples on the road to Emmaus, the town of Emmaus, and they were confused, and they were like, man, we really don't understand Jesus was the Messiah. It was clear he was the Messiah. It was clear. It was documented evidence he was the Messiah. This thing, the Messiah thing, was actually happening, but now he died.
Yeah.
We're confused. And then here comes Jesus walking alongside of him. Hey guys, what are you guys talking about? You know? And they did not recognize that it was Jesus. I really want to make a whole nother video about not being able to recognize Jesus in his resurrected state. But I'm not going to do that here. But it was like they didn't recognize him. But this was so cool because I think there's a reason why Jesus kind of hid himself from them. They didn't recognize him because he was right in that moment. He's like, this is resurrection time. The era has changed. You may not recognize it right now, but it's changed. And right now I'm going to start living in that new era because I am the firstborn of that new era. So I'm going to start teaching you how to hear the Spirit of God like I did. And so he went and he took him to, you know, well, let's go talk about it, you know. And then he says he opened up the scriptures to them.
Yeah.
And then he broke some bread, handed to them, and disappeared right in front of their faces. That actually happened. Deal with that. Talk about superpowers. Anyway, teleportation is real. and so right when he did that prophetic act of breaking the bread, it's like, here, I'm going to hand you the bread. I'm going to hand you the word. I'm going to hand you this symbol of my covenant and my love for you and the intimacy I want to have with you. I'm going to share it with you. Right when he did that prophetic act, then their eyes were open, and they were like, were not our hearts burning within us as he was saying all these things? Why? Because he was teaching them how to listen to the Spirit and not recognize my face. Hear the Spirit that's speaking to you. Because a lot of times the Lord will speak to you through many different ways, but you have to recognize that the Spirit of God's going, hey, I'm speaking to you through this. Hey, he started that communication right then. And he was telling them before he died and before he rose from the dead, he was telling them this is the way it's actually going to start happening. Yeah. You see me face to face, but there's going to be a communication in the Spirit that's going to be happening, and you're going to have to know how to do that.
Yeah.
The way I do it right now, that's how I live. Everything I say and do is by that Spirit that is going to be in you. So you're going to have to get to know him in the same way you get to know me. Mm-hmm. Right? And he was like, they were like, were not our hearts burning within us? And I was just like, well, I felt like the Lord was saying, you see, Devin, it was up to me to appear to my disciples.
Yeah.
They weren't looking for me. They weren't seeking me. After things had died, they weren't seeking to have more of that fulfillment of the Messiah stuff happen. They weren't. In their minds and their emotions and their humanness, where they were, it had all died.
Yeah.
So they weren't looking for it to continue.
Yeah.
And God was like, I get all the glory for this because I'm the one who steps in and says, hey guys, here I am, just like I said I was going to be.
Yeah.
I told you all this was going to happen.
I told you all that beforehand.
Yeah. And you I know you didn't hear anything but the bad stuff, but I told you the hope. I told you the good that was coming afterwards. But the Lord was like, listen, it's up to me to do that.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain things that only God can do. He knew the disciples weren't going to know the answer when he said, why don't you give them something to eat? He was testing them, but he was also prepping them for later on in their lives about, hey, you're going to be able to do the things that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Anyone who believes in me, steadfastly believes in me, will do the things I'm doing and even greater things, because there's going to be so many more of you than just me. Mm-hmm. You know, the disciples were in a closed, locked room. And Jesus appeared and said, hey guys, what's up? How you doing? I'm right here. And they were all freaking out like, oh my gosh. And their hearts were awakened. Their hearts were alive again. Mm-hmm. And they were like, whoa. And then God was like, see, I had to do that. They were in a locked room. They weren't out there trying to look for me or
And that's interesting. You know? I did wake up. There was a song that was going in my head, and it was Your Love Awakens Me. And
we did that for God Time.
Yeah, we actually that was the first song I put on, because it was just like
awesome.
Your love, it awakens me. Mm-hmm. And again, that's really what God's been speaking to us about this whole week, about like the Father's love for his children. How does he do that? It says but God demonstrated his love.
Demonstrates.
And it was Jesus. Like, his greatest gift to us was Christ, his death and resurrection. And then, but it's like when he arose again and Jesus comes on the scene and he appears, it awakens their hearts. It
solidifies the demonstration.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
And so I just think it's interesting that that's the song that was like going on in my head. It was just like, your love awakens me. And it's love in a demonstration of your love is what is going to awaken me and cause me to sing, cause me to come alive. And it's like, that's what you're really, even what God is saying. He's like, Jesus, he is going to be appearing.
He is. And even for you this morning, that's literally what he did. You were not in a place where you were like the disciples in your little locked room of your soul.
It was,
and Jesus came into your place and said, hey, your love awakens me. You know, I'm going to awaken you. I'm going to do these things for you. I'm going to do it, and no one can stop me.
Yeah.
You can't stop me from doing what I want to do in your life. Why? Because I know the door's open. I know that I can just appear in your life. And if I just appear in your life, you're going to see me, and you're going to be like, oh, Jesus, it is you. Hallelujah. You know? And so it's like, there again, it's like, our whole lives are a grace gift. It's like our existence is an act of grace. It's a present. It's a gift. It's like, we don't have to exist. God could have been like, I don't like that idea. Never mind. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, it is up to him to appear, right? The disciples could still be wandering and just, I mean, it would have died out with Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, but God's like, no, I have a plan. I got something I'm working on here. And even with your life, even with our lives, even with your lives, it's like, no. There's something I'm working on here, and I'm going to appear, and you're going to see me, and you're going to welcome me back in. You're going to be like, oh, Lord. Even if you're doubting Thomas. And other people are saying, oh, I got my breakthrough. I got this. I've seen the Lord. The Lord did this. The Lord did great things. Like, I ain't going to believe it till I see it. Show me what he did. And the Lord will do that.
Yeah.
Not out of spite, but out of love. To be like, okay, here, come. Go ahead, touch.
I think what you
Is
said,
this what you need?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that's when we were talking about it earlier today. It was just like, it was like Jesus was going to met him where he was at. It's like, here, come, you know, put your hands, you know, in the holes, basically.
But just like all the other disciples.
But then he's just like, no, like, I don't need that,
Lord. I see you now. I don't need to.
But it's like Jesus was just like offering that, like, hey, if you need this extra bit to help you believe, then here, I'm giving it to you if you want to take it. And it's like, no, Lord, that you appearing is enough.
So that was the thing the Lord was showing me this morning. He was like, he is appearing. He's going to appear. He's going to show up. He's going to, because his name is on the line. And it's funny because yesterday, all day, the Lord was speaking to us about resurrection.
Yeah.
And now today, he's speaking to me, us, about appearing after his resurrection. And it's like the Lord, he's like, I'm just going to appear, you know?
Yeah.
And I guess the whole point was, he was like, I have to do that. That's what he was showing. He's like, it's up to me to do that. There's certain points of working with someone where you work with them as much as you can, but then the master comes in and he's like, okay, now I'm going to finish this work. I'm going to tweak it. I'm going to make it to where it's the way it's supposed to be, you know? And I just felt like the Lord was saying that, like, he's going to come in and he's going to show up for his namesake, to show, like, hey, see, you weren't believing for nothing. In fact, that's what he was doing when he was dead. He was down in Abraham's bosom saying, hey guys, you weren't believing for nothing. Here I am. Come on up. That's why for 40 days after Jesus was resurrected, people were seeing ghosts everywhere. Because they were like, they weren't ghosts. They were actually, they were seeing Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. They were seeing all these people all over the place, because that's where they were, in the center of the earth, in a place called Abraham's bosom that's separated by a chasm. And on the other side of that chasm is hell. It's in the Word. Let's not get into a debate about it. But he's preaching to all these other people who didn't believe and saying, see, you missed it. You could have believed. And so in light of that, we were doing one of the cool things that happened last night is while I wasn't talking and she was just sharing her heart because she needed to do that, and I needed to continually be learning how to listen and not try to solve the problem. While I was doing that, the Lord was just giving me scriptures, and I was just like, wow, this is what I've been missing, because I've been trying. I'm going to shut up from now on. I'm not saying anything. If you're just going to be giving me words, giving me scripture. And one of the things he gave me was Luke 18, 1 through 8.
Mm-hmm.
Luke 18, 1 through 8. That's an 18:18.
It is.
I just realized that. Anyway, moving on. But it goes through that whole story of the widow and the unjust judge and her adversary, right? And at the end of that story, Jesus says, I'm trying to encourage you that God's not going to delay you. He's not going to defer you. You might think so according to your definition of slow, that God's being slow, but he's really not being slow. He's going to avenge you. He's going to protect you. He's going to do all of those things. He's going to do it.
Yeah.
But when, not if, when I come, will I find faith in the earth? Mm-hmm. That's verse 8. And I felt like that's what the Lord was saying. He was like saying, I didn't say if I'm going to come. I said, when I come, will I find faith? When I come, will I find a place of faith to land in your life where you're still believing for the things that I've been asking you to believe for? I put this charge of faith and believing for certain things in your life. Mm-hmm. Are you going to be faithful to continue to believe for that and pray for it day and night? Because I'm trying to do something in the earth through you, and obviously you're going to benefit from it.
Yeah.
You know, there's all kinds of cool things going on here, and if it's God, it's good. You know what I mean? And it's not like God's just using you to do something through you. That's not it. You know, God has things for you, but God also has something to do through you, and a lot of times it's through the same mechanism.
Yeah.
That desire of your heart. It has many facets that God can turn and use. It will use it to bless you and show you how much he loves you and all that stuff, right? But then also at the same time, he can twist it and use it to bless others. Mm-hmm. And he can also twist it and use it to shame the enemy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if many of us look at it that way. We just look at the desires of our heart. When are we going to get our stuff? Well, there's more to it than that. When God gives you something to believe for, and he puts something on your heart, a vision, a dream, and all that, he's literally giving you an assignment to take care of.
Yeah.
It's like Moses being pushed down the river. He's pushing a Moses down your river to your life for you to take and take care of until that thing matures and is ready to be the deliverance of many people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I just felt like the Lord was saying, like, that's what he's going to do. He is looking, he's going to come. It's not an if, it's a when he comes. Is he going to step into that locked room and be received? You know what I mean? And he wants you to know that he is going to come. There is victory. There, all the things that you've been promised that maybe you haven't seen yet, they're still real. Yeah. They're still going to happen. You know?
Yeah, and actually during our God time, and I think one of the things you said that was good, because I was still really struggling.
I went on for an hour.
Yeah, literally.
I was like, guys, I know I'm going long, but we need to hear this from the Lord.
But one of the things that you had said, and because I was still really struggling this morning, and just even listening to the whole Luke 18, 1 through 8, and, you know, I'm like,
you were like,
well, I could.
Great.
The unjust judge and the just judge, and that God does things speedily, and all of that. And, but one of the things was, you know, talking, I think you had said to the effect of, are you going to be upset, or are you going to cry about something that you know is going to happen? For example, you know, like it's like
the Disney vacation.
Well, if you know you're going to go on this Disney vacation, you've got the plane tickets for it, it's good to go. Are you going to be crying about it before, just because you have to wait a few more days, or you just have to, you know? And it's like, no, of course not. And I think for me, if anything, it was just like, all right, you know what? The truth is, I am sure of what God is going to do in our life.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me that what I struggle the most with really is the timing, because I'm like, Lord, come on, like, how long?
You are not like too many people though, so I don't know if anybody's going to be able to relate to that, the whole timing issue. I don't know if I might want to edit this part out because I don't know if anybody's going to really relate to that.
Yeah.
But I mean, go ahead and share. We'll just see what happens.
But yeah, so, but at the same time, I was just like, you know what, the truth is, it's like, even if I don't know the timing of the Lord. We don't have the
one thing we want to know, we can't ever know.
Yeah. It's like, we don't have the date of like, okay, yes, this is happening on this date, like a wedding. A wedding, it could be a year off, but it's like, hey, that's the date. And, and you've got planning and all this stuff that you're doing for it. And it's exciting and fun. But it's like, we're excited for what God's going to do, but there's just no date stamped. And I think that's really what makes it difficult. But at the same time, you don't have to be grieved over it because you know that it's coming. Yeah. And so it was just really cool because then after God time, and Devin was actually getting ready to do this video, I didn't actually really want to do it at the time. And I had gone into the bathroom. I'm coming out and I see the clock and it's at 1:11, and I was just like,
let me get the word.
So I'm like, okay, 1:11. It kind of
we've gotten that number 1,000 times.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay.
As a reminder.
And I was like, all right, Lord, I see the 1:11. It was kind of staring me in the face.
I bet the Lord was just going like, hey, Michelle.
Yeah.
Hey, I love you.
Yeah.
I'm right here.
Yeah.
I'm rejoicing. I'm trying to give you some.
Yeah. And so I go over and I sit down and quite honestly, when Devin was talking about like this morning, the Lord appearing, like my heart was just still very grieved.
You were basically like, no.
Well, no, I mean, I was like, okay, Lord,
I'm done with
Lord,
this.
you can appear. I don't know when you're gonna appear. It was just kind of this like, all right, well, here's another word to put in the pocket.
Another prophetic pain. I mean, a prophetic word.
Yeah. And so then I go and sit down at the computer, and I'm like, you know what? Well, maybe I'm just going to research where does it talk about the Lord appearing and stuff. And
you didn't get very far.
Oh no, I went straight to. I was like, okay, look at Bible Gateway. I didn't even type it in, but they always have Bible Gateway always has a verse of the day. So I literally just saw the 1:11. I sat down. It was actually still 1:11. I looked down, and the verse of the day is Hebrews 11:1.
Ready? Read.
So,
now faith is the assurance, the confirmation, the title deed. Whoa! Can I run? Of the things we hope for, being the proof of things we do not see, and the conviction of their reality. Faith, perceiving as real fact what is not revealed to the senses.
Yeah.
That's verse 1.
And so I was just like, all right, Lord, I'm hearing you. And it was just like, you know what?
Was that the breaking moment for you right there? It was just like, oh.
Yeah. It's like, all right, Lord,
thank you, Jesus.
I want to have faith. I'm going to have faith. I'm going to believe. And I just knew at that point, I was just like, all right, I have to do the video. I'm like, there's no way. I can't not do this. The only reason I was saying no is because I'm feeling like...
That's it right there.
Yeah,
Stop right there.
Stop right there.
Stop right there.
I'm feeling.
Right.
And it's like, no. What is true is that God is going to fulfill his promises. And I can just rest assured in that. That's what faith is. Faith is the hope for the things. It's having that title deed. It's like, God's like saying, yes, you have it already.
We do. I mean, we actually do. We have we don't have a literal title in our hand, but it is... I don't know if you can be any closer.
Yeah.
I mean, we it is ours.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It is ours. That house is ours. The life that God has for us coming out of this place is ours. It's ours. It's already there. We are already literally living in it. We just have to catch up with time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're already there.
And I think that also can come into when it comes to we perceive God as being slow, but the truth is, when he has said yes to something, he's already said yes to it.
That's it.
And it's like,
nothing can stop that.
That is going to be established in our life.
Yeah.
And it's like, we might not see it yet, and there is a process most of the time when God, there are so many processes because God is preparing us for what he has for us. Had to get the baby, woke up, but
so you were talking about processes.
Yeah.
There's
and
so
just
many
how
processes
there really are a lot of processes that God takes us on to prepare us.
Mm-hmm.
And but
he leaves no stone unturned.
But he will appear.
He will.
And I think
he is appearing.
Yeah, he is
That's
appearing.
really the Lord. The Lord shared that with me. I woke up and it was just like, he is appearing. I am here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay. And it's like, it's tough because I've heard stuff like that before too. I'm here to, et cetera, et cetera. And it's just like, oh, okay. And then your situation doesn't change.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, well, God, I don't care. I don't care how many times I hear something. If I hear it and I know it's the Lord, then I'm all in.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to ask for daily bread. I woke up and there was daily bread in my face.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that smells good. Give me that.
Yeah.
He is appearing. Okay, come on.
And I think that's part of the maturing process is like, you know what? If God is saying it, you just come into agreement with it.
Yeah.
And knowing that what God is saying is true, even if you can't see it, that's really what it means to walk by faith. It's like, even though your senses, your actual tangible senses aren't getting anything, it's like, well, Lord, you said you're appearing, but I don't see you.
Well, what if you have the title deed to some amazing property on the other side of the planet? Well, you have a journey to get to that other side of the planet, but it can be just filled with all kinds of setbacks and delays and issues getting there. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. What is taking me just to get from here to there? I know it's a long journey, but dang, it's like taking forever. I don't know if this deed is real. No one ever does that.
No.
No one ever does that. We don't doubt the deed just because of the issues that it's taking to get from here to Scotland, let's say. Just no one's doing that. We can't do that either. When God is speaking to us, he's speaking to you about spiritual realities, things that are actually happening in the spirit. That's like, boom, here it comes. But again, it's going to take the Lord to do that. It's going to take him to show up and just be like, here you go, see, I told you.
Yeah.
It's like, of course, he's not going to do it quite the way Devin does it.
Yeah, so I just think that, in the process, as we walk through that, we just continue to come in and just say yes to whatever the Lord is saying. Even if your soul is being screaming at you, going, no, whatever it is, your soul might be like so loud. It can be like a 2-year-old throwing a tantrum on the floor
who is teething,
and it's like,
and hungry.
Sometimes you just have to set it down. Say, no, you got to be in timeout, because I'm not listening to you. I'm going to listen to the Spirit, and what is the Spirit of God saying? And it's like,
so that your soul can be encouraged.
Feast on what the Spirit is saying. I'm going to give you food. It's what's going to provide that satisfaction that you need. And so that's really, I think, what we have to say today. Yeah. And I just pray that God would just lift all of you up with his faith. I pray that he would he would come in and revive your hearts, awaken your hearts to the love that he has for you, and that through that there would just be a strengthening and a rising up in faith to believe for what God is saying is going to come through and come to pass in your life, and that when he does appear, that he will find faith with those who have been standing and contending for these things for a long time, for years and decades. But God is saying, I am going to come in and I am going to appear. And so I feel like he's just saying, I'm going to arise up the faith so that when I come,
Arise. That's just a word for us right now.
I'm going to see the faith of my people.
Arise.
And so I just pray that on all of you right now, that God would just stir up your faith, that it would become strong, and He would just strengthen you in the areas that you are weak, and that you would be able to put your soul aside and feast on the promises of God and the truth of His Word.
Yes.
And so I just pray that in the name of Jesus.
Yeah, I really feel that. Let the love of God awaken you.
Yeah.
Let it awaken you. He's going to appear. And I just really feel like just when God shows up, it is going to awaken you. It's just going to happen. And you're gonna be like, wow, all of the stuff that I'd been believing for, it was actually real. I knew it was, but you know how the soul works, and it's just gonna go, it's just gonna all go away.
Yeah.
You know, and your life's never gonna be the same again.
Yeah. Just as it was with the disciples. When Jesus appeared to them, their life was never the same again.
That was it.
Yeah.
Because before that, they were hiding.
Yeah.
After that, they were going into the marketplaces of the most dangerous areas, getting arrested, getting set free by angelic visitation, and then they went right back into those same places.
Yeah.
The resurrection of Jesus was the beginning of a new forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like the old truly did pass away, and here's the new, and now you're a part of it. You know, and it's just. Yeah, be encouraged today, guys. And also, thank you guys for supporting us still. You know, it would be great if we were in our house and we didn't need support, you know? But we're not there yet. And until then, guys, we so thank you for those cups of Gatorade, like we said in our other video. We thank you for all the support. And I guess we can't say enough.
Yeah.
We can't really emphasize like how much we appreciate you guys. And there's just going to be some awesome stuff happening.
Yeah.
And
so, until next time, guys, we will see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.